I just cut the ends of crotch piece. They were just a little bit too long to try to turn. I put a flat spot here for a worm screw, and I've also flattened the other side because it had a branch sticking out. I'm going to get it mounted up on the worm screw, and we're going to see if we can make something cool out of this. I'll be right back. So this is what was on the bottom, and I cut that off because it would just been a lot of turning to get rid of this, just to get down there, and since I was over at the saw, I went ahead and cut it off. I'm going to bring the tailstock up here and have some support, and then we'll get to turning here. Alright, let's see what kind of RPM we can get here. About 580, not too bad. I'm going to start with a 5/8 bowl gouge, and just got a little bit of cutting to do to get up to the top. Quite a bit of cutting, actually. Well, we're making progress. Yeah, not too bad. We're almost there. Just about. I think we need to turn past that, or maybe just clean this off of here and have a look at it, but I'd say we need to turn that off. I had a request the other day, could I get the camera down level here so they could see the cuts, so this is what I'm going to do. Alright, let's give this a try. I think I can get in here and let you see the tip of the tool. There we go. So yeah, I just about went through that, and that's telling me that I actually want to clean that up. I think it'll look better getting that nice grain in there. I can do another cut here. There, I wasn't able to lock the handle into my hip out here because I think my arm was going to hit the camera, but that's pretty much what I ended up doing. So yeah, look at what we just found up here. It's like a gold mine. I'm going to switch to a 1/2-inch bowl gouge so you can see that cut maybe coming from here and going up. These corners, and it's right there, can be tricky because you only have that little piece. You don't have a lot of wood coming around, but you can see a little ghost image, and you just want to sneak up and trust that that actually is a piece of wood, even though it almost looks invisible. So you don't want to just go in there thinking that it's not there, because it is there. I'm going to finish it off like this, and well, maybe just clean that up. Call it good. So there's the piece there. That's pretty much down to the rest of it right there. At that point in time, probably grab my negative rake scraper, clean that up, and we'll look this over and maybe even get it sanded up. Alright, we're at the point we can sand that. This is really going to light up here when we get finished on it. But you know, we probably could have put a tenon on there before we get it any further. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and probably flatten this off a little bit. I've got a little undercut right there. I don't want that left on it, so I'm probably going to take maybe a 1/4 inch off using a 1/2-inch bowl gouge. Alright, let's go ahead and get this all sanded up. I'm going to start with a 2-inch disc, 80 grit, sand it in reverse at about 360. We'll get it sanded to 400. I'll come back and we'll put a finish on it. I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm using my larger jaws on this, and it also has dovetails on them, and it really holds a heavy piece quite well. I got it sanded to 400. It's nice and smooth. I buffed it out with the white Scotch pad. Getting ready to put a coat of sanding sealer on it, shellac based. It should be beautiful. I just hope that's showing all of this, because I can sure see what's going on, and it's just going to be an amazing looking piece of wood. That sound you hear in the background is my little heater. It's really not that loud, but that microphone picks it up and makes it sound loud. There's really a pretty area right here. Yeah, that is spectacular right there. Alright, we are almost all the way around, and I'll go ahead and get a couple coats of this sealer on. I like to put the shellac on at the same time on the front and back. Okay, next time you see this, I'll have it flipped around, mounted in the jaws of the chuck. So I got the underside sealed. I let it sit for quite a while. I decided to flip it around. I was going to come back out tomorrow morning and go ahead and cut the inside out, but I got to looking at this branch, and I really want to turn it until I get to that branch, see what's going on, and then that'll be it for the day. So I've got my 5/8 bowl gouge, and we should be doing about 600-700 RPM. 760. Gonna make some light cuts and check that out. Yeah, I think at least the best way to get this started is to grab this little hollowing tool. And I think it'll be easier to get it going. There. Hey. Alright, that's it. I just wanted to see that. I do have a crack in here. I think that's probably the branch coming up through there. Yeah, alright. I think we're on the way. So I will now see you tomorrow. Alright, I'm back out here this morning, and I stopped last night when I was trying to get past that branch. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of the center section down and get down to the branch, and then it might be easy enough to cut it that direction instead of cutting straight down. We're using a 5/8 bowl gouge and probably about 700 RPM. I got to test it out and see. Well, actually 860. Well, this is really, really slow, hard cutting, but look at that beautiful grain in there. Alright, that's sounding really close. And that's good there. And I think that's pretty good. So, okay, I've got the walls down slightly under a ½ inch. I don't really want to go less. I've got a big inclusion here, and I have a number of cracks that almost go all the way through. I'm going to go over it with the negative rake scraper, and we'll get it all set up to do some sanding. Well, that scraped a lot better than I expected, so that was good. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. Alright, I'm going to get a little bit more done here. We'll come back and do some sanding. Alright, time to do some sanding. I'm going to have to sand these ends here without the lathe spinning. And some of them have cracks. It's going to be a little bit of work. And I'll start with 80 grit and I'll sand it up to 400. But down in here, I should be able to sand with the lathe running forward at about 400. So I'll show you a little bit of that, and I'll be back and we'll get some sanding sealer on the inside. So just for a reference, it might seem like I don't spend much time sanding it, but I can't show you all of it because I probably spent a little over an hour sanding the inside of this bowl. Alright, let's put some finish on this, and this will be the sanding sealer again. It'll be a little bit dark in there, but I'll make sure you get a good look at it when we're finished. Just a thin coat for the first one and the second one. And I'm going to get some sanding sealer on that bark. Looks like that's going to be nice. I haven't put the shellac on the back side, so that's why I'm able to put this on, not worry about it. Alright, so this is what that kind of looks like. I'm not sure you can see it that well. So I'll see you when we're, I guess, ready to take that tenon off. And it's a big tenon. Well, here it is. This is a beautiful piece of cherry. Here's the two branches that I kind of cut to get out of the way in the beginning. And there is an interesting face there. It looks like maybe a baby dinosaur, something. It's that bark inclusion right there. Made it really hard to turn. It made the grain really difficult to get through. Here's the inside. You can see a feather down here coming up from them two branches. That also made it some really difficult wood to turn. But we got it done. I like the bark on it. I just love the little pictures that are in here. I finished 9.5 by 8.5 this way, 5 inches tall, and the walls are about a 1/2 inch thick, and a lot of it was because of that bark inclusion over there. It was really vibrating, and the wood was really hard, and I was getting tired, so I stopped right there. Finished it with 2 coats of Zinsser Seal Coat and 2 coats of Zinsser Shellac. And here's the bottom. Well, look at this. That looks like a cat's face right there. He's got a little black eye. You don't see these things until I'm finished. Looks just like a cat. What do you think? I think it's pretty cool. I sure had a lot of fun turning it, even though it was difficult. And I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, do me a favor. Click that like button and feel free to leave a comment. Both of those things will really help my channel grow. I do lots of different types of turnings, and you never know what might be next. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And a special thanks to all my current subscribers. You really mean a lot to me. So, till the next time, see you later.